it's father time at the gate in John F. Kennedy. We just finished the origination pre-flight. There's a video out on that. I'm flying the PMDG B777-300 in the Prepare 3D, or P3D as you guys call it, software program. I bought the PMDG 200 with the expansion pack and the 300, and plus signing on for Prepare 3D with the whole intention that I would learn to fly this before it came out on Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm loving it. I'm just loving it. I'm a 777 captain based out of New York. In real life, I've been there a long time. I retire in September at age 65. It's presently April 1st. That's not an April Fool's joke. And what I found is I was reviewing all other aircraft, but really I needed to pay attention to this one because when I go to work, it gets a little confusing. A little confusing if you're not paying attention, if you're not flying your own aircraft. Just looking out here and trying to get my bearings as to what this is. These taxiways are not really in order. Taxiway Tango Bravo will probably go out here. That's fine. So I'm going to have them go nose left on the pushback, which I will try to remember how to do that. So here we go. Let's do the pushback and everything. All right, so how about the before start things? Right now the ground crew has just called up and said cockpit, ground to cockpit. I said, yeah, go ahead, ground. Yes, sir. Bypass steering pins are installed. We're ready to push back. Standing by for brake release. That's not true, because if you go outside, he's not actually there. All right, so I'm going to do this, and I'm going to get this, and I'm going to actually push, and I'm going to go nose. I'm going to try to have them go. Click on this button, straight out, no. Left turn, standard tile, left turn, L turn. Okay, so that's an L turn. I don't know what these others are. L turn, I'm not going to self-drive it. And nose left. And that'll take us up Tango Alpha. Nose left. Okay, trucks are removed. And when I select the tug, he's going to come running on over. If you want to take a look at that, it's pretty cool. There he is. It's our guy. Our tug guy. Cockpit, virtual cockpit. We're back in. Okay, so let's do the before start checklist. Flight deck door is closed and secured. MCP up here. We're going to go LNAV, DNAV, runway heading, which is in the LNAV. 183 is V2. All the switches are toggled up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 2 flight directors, 2 auto throttles in the autopilot gauge. Runway heading is 224, which the LNAV should track at 5,000 initial altitude on the JFK 5, and it's checked on runway 22 right for departure. And takeoff speeds are in there. Let me see, 168, 77, 183. The takeoff weight is 774. 183 is in V2. CDU pre-flight, we did that. We read it back and forth in the plan mode. Trim, it looks like a 5.5. We'll get that in just a second. And takeoff brief. My takeoff, my taxi out. We're going to go out November, Tango Alpha, off to the side. I'm going to look at my approach plates over here. It's another cool thing. I could spend a whole, in fact I will, on PMDG's electronic flight bag, as well as their FMC menu page, but that's for another day. We'll do the whole video on that. But we are at gate 6, right about here. We're going to go tail, nose to the left, tail like this, and head out Tango Alpha. Probably a right on Alpha, Victor, hold short of 3-1 right, and then a right on Charlie, down to 2-2 right. That's our plan. Taking off, it's going to be runway heading 5,000, min sector is 3,000, engine out is 810 on both sides, so there's no engine out procedure. Anything prior to 80 knots, call it out, we'll execute the abort between 80 and V1. We'll save it for if we have an engine failure, fire. If we think we're going to lose control of the airplane or wind shear. Otherwise, we're in the go mode. After V1, we're going. Super heavyweight takeoff. Don't only pull the gear up if we get a wheel fire. We'll keep the gear down, cool it off, come back in. Don't forget, we do have the dump mode available to us. if anybody in the cockpit, we have a four-man crew here. So the arm, and then push whatever nozzle, push them both, and we'll start dumping fuel if we think we need it for performance. I'm flying, so we're going to have the guy back here watching me fly, and this guy over here helping the other guy run the checklist. So that's the FB, that's the reserve captain, relief captain. He's watching me fly, he's backing up the other guy and helping out wherever they can. And that's the takeoff brief. And okay, that's good. So we're going to push back. It said we're ready downstairs. Before we call for pushback, we're going to do our flow. Turn this right electric pump on. Typically, we just go right across. A lot of airlines wait until this fault line goes out. What they're trying to do when they turn on the centers, then they do this. We just go. It only depends on the airline. The idea is you don't want to transfer fuel between sides. So you go wax on, and you turn them off, wax off like that. So there's a couple of different ways to do it. We have fuel in the center, so we'll turn on the center pumps. If not, we didn't have any fuel in the center, we would not turn it on. They fill up the wing tanks before. You should never have fuel in the center if you have wing tank fuel. So we've turned on the waxed on, turned on the hydraulics, fuel pumps are on. We come down here and we turn on the beacon, and I tell the FO, okay, Steve, you can call for pushback, please. Yeah, ramp, this is Father Time, 123, gate 6, the pushback. Yeah, Father Time, clear the pushback. Have them put your nose to the east. We're going to send you out Tango Alpha. Roger that. Nose east, Tango Alpha, cleared to push. Father Time, 123. Ground this cockpit. Go ahead. Yeah, are you ready for a brake release, sir? Yes, sir, ready for brake release. Okay. Brakes are released. They want you, you're clear to push. They want tail east. You're going out Tango Alpha. Roger, tail east, right, going out. Ground. Tail Alpha. Okay, now we get to hear him.
Go ahead. We've been cleared for pushback and start, tail straight out.
Roger that. Ready for push straight back. Release the brakes, please.
Brakes released.
Okay, so you guys saw it here first. You saw me set up for a standard left-hand turn, nose right.
Brakes released, here we go.
Sounds like he's just going to push straight back. It's not that much room, so I'm just going to have to stop the push when I think it's logical. I had arranged for him to do a turn either way, but I'll just get it back here. When the tail gets right about here, I'll stop the push. This is the PMDG pushback option. I'm sure there's apps somewhere. I found it's pretty good, although I did not demonstrate that. There is a way to manually control it. I don't know how to do it. Yeah, I have done it with the turn, and it's done a nice job and put us right on this taxi line here. But we're going to let him push us back, and we'll just start engines. It's not a good idea because we blow stuff away back here, but that's okay. Looks like we'd have clearance if we get the tail, the nose off across this line. All right, let me come out here and go back in the cockpit. Not ideal, but stop the push and release the tug. Set the brakes. I'm going to go back outside and make sure he's leaving. All right, the tug, wow, he got out of there fast, didn't he? And I'm sure he cleared us to start. We gave him a salute, flashed the light at him, back in here. All right, starting engines. Let's make sure there's nothing on the normal for taxi. Nope. Okay, we're clear to start engines. Now on the 300, we start one at a time. On the 200, you can start them both at once. So its auto start button is in and it stays in. Left engine first. Okay, so clear to start left engine. And you go right up with the fuel lever on right away. This has an auto start and auto shutdown for several different items. I'm going to pump here and get the secondary engine page up. Yeah, it'll restart up to 3 times for various different items. It won't auto stop for other certain ones, but looks like the oil pressure doesn't rise. But here's the oil pressure's going up. We're watching the N2 EGT. See this little red tick here? When that disappears, you have a full engine start. I go with a thing called 2468. N1's around 20 something. EGT's a little under about 480 or 490. And the N2 should be, oh, look at the throttles all the way up. You know what, guys? We must have hit Toga. Yeah, it's a problem on this P3. Sometimes you hit buttons you don't mean to. We're going to call that a simism, okay? So it started. I'm not even going to restart that, redo that over, because that is 100% a simism. I heard a little click. I didn't know what I did. Sometimes when you move around in this P3D, you turn things on and off. So if you're a Microsoft Flight Simulator baby, it used to be an able to kind of click wherever you want. Not so much here. All right, so oil pressure's coming up. That's a good start. This ignition, light off. Remember this little tick. When that disappears, it's a full start. See over here? 2, 4. This is usually 69, and it ate the oil, gulped the oil. When it starts, it goes down about 3 quarts. Now, we would have turned on engine ice if we were 10 degrees Celsius, 50 degrees Fahrenheit or less, and visibility less than a mile. Taxiways had snow or slush or ice, but we don't need engine ice today. We're 15. So there's 2, 4, the tick is gone, 2, 4, 6, 8 the oil. Okay, looks good. And I can tell them after start flow, turn off the APU, come down here, and we do our all of our flaps are flight control at the ramp, so as not to be distracted. Now, we got RTO on the brakes, but we do not arm the spoilers. They are armed automatically. And so we come to the after start checklist. We're going to go up here and get the checklist. This button here. You guys see that? This one right here. Come down here. Anti-ice not necessary. Recall is this button right here. You recall, and if there were any open items, they pop up over here, and there weren't. So you come back down, click off the recall. Flight controls we're going to do. Ground equipment's clear. So let's come back up front and do the flight controls. Always fun on this Prepare 3D. See if I got everything working here. So let's go back outside. See if all of our flight controls are working here. My elevator's working. My ailerons are working. FO usually checks the tops. The rudder's working with the stick. How about with the rudders? I wonder if my throttles are working. Moment of truth. You ready? Yes, they are. I have had more trouble getting that stuff to work on P3D. I don't know what I'm doing. Hello. Let's go back up. More trouble getting it all to work on this thing. But today, we have it worked. We could actually get this done. Okay, let's call for taxi. Yeah, ramp. Oh, this is Father Time 123, request taxi. Yeah, Father Time 123, exit via Tango Alpha, hold short of Alpha, contact ground 121.9. All right. Clear to exit, left, Tango Alpha, hold short of Alpha, ground 21.9. Father Time 123. So here we go. Always fun. 40% is your break off, breakaway. Across this 300, even at these heavy weights, when you take the brakes off, it starts moving. Oh wow. obviously that guy dropped us off in a rather precarious position. I have ground collision on, so if we hit anything, it's going to crash.
16907, contact New York Center on 118.975. 118.975, 16907.
Always fun learning a new sim, huh? Alright, a couple of things about taxiing here. I'm going to show you, I'm going to stop and show you a couple of tricks. You may like it, I'm not a big fan, but here we go. Alright, first of all, you want to know where your nose gear is? On all the Boeing aircraft and the MD-11, it's right where the speed tape is. Where is the speed tape? Let me show you. There's the speed tape. It's right where it is. So if I had to do, I'd say we're pointing to the right, and we are a little bit right. Yep, we're pointing a little to the right. Just judging by the speed tape. And we're pointing a little to the right. So your nose gear is where the speed tape is. Another cool thing that we have on the 300 only, it's not on the 200, is we have a camera. It's right over here. You turn that on. Now the other pilot can bring that over and have it right in front of you if you want it. You can see your nose gear, you see this is off your, see your mains. These are mounted on the tail, this is mounted behind the nose, and you can see where you're going. It's only on the 200. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't think you need it. I used it when I first got on it, but, you know, I don't feel you need it anymore. So how are we doing on the checklist? Let me just check that real quick. Flaps are set for takeoff. That's complete. Just the after takeoff time check. There's a few more items, but we're not gonna we'll do it when we get out there. I use my own personal stuff. All right, you can call for taxi. Kennedy ground. This is Father Time 123 coming out of Tango Alpha Information Bravo taxi. Yeah, Father Time 123. Aren't you a newbie YouTuber? Why, yes, I am. Okay, American Father Time 123 heavy. Turn right on Alpha, hold short of Victor for runway 22 right. Right on Alpha, short of Victor, go to 22 right. Father Time 123 heavy. All right, let's get our taxi light on. Got our beacon navs on. And clear left, clear right. Here we go. Road again, on our way to India. Be there in no time at all. Yeah, going eastbound, it's about 16 hours. Westbound, closer to 17. When you get Russian overflight, cut an hour off it at least. But we don't get Russian overflight lately. I think we don't know why. Alright, so see over here on the window, if you want a visual representation. Actually, my mouse just dropped on the floor. Sounds disgusting. There you go, coming to the right. Overshoot. So the tail is, that nose wheel is actually 20 feet behind us. Okay, you never stop on a bridge, right? In case you have to ground it back. So if he told us if there was an aircraft ahead of us, we'd have to stop here and leave that whole bridge open. Ground knows that. Victor's right up ahead of us, so Father Time 123 heavy. This is Kennedy ground. You're clear to cross 31 right at Victor. Right on Charlie, left on Echo, hold short of 22 right. Roger, Father Time 123 heavy. Clear to cross 31 right at Victor, right on Charlie, left on Echo, hold short of 22 right. That's it. All right, now I would say, okay, I got this, Steve, before takeoff checklist. All right, Captain, we got the close out. I'm going to check the winds, weight, temperature, zero fuel weight's updated. CG is updated. The takeoff winds are 220 at 10, so we have a headwind. Weights, we came in 1,000 below plan. We're using max power, so we're good. Temperature is 15, and our TPS is for 17, so that's good as well. So weights, winds, and temperatures checked. The box is updated. Takeoff data and bugs. And I would say checked. And I have to look down at the box and check the zero fuel weight and takeoff weight CG. And that's it. Say stab trim. Takeoff page is calling for 5.5. Oh, I paused it. Not really sure what happened there, guys. Hang on just 1 second. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. There we go. Here's the boss, huh? Don't know what happened there. Takeoff page 5.5. The trim is set at 5.5. Go. Welcome to the sim world. Trim's actually a little bit out. Now it's 5.5. Alright, overshoot the line a little bit. We'll turn on over. Nice thing about being in the airplane is you can be looking outside when you look down at the trim, right? Alright, we're taxiing now. Say, okay, down to the runway items, down to the line, and say, okay, load line, it's an empty NCP and radios. Okay, that's VNAV, LNAV, that checks with the PFD, VNAV, LNAV. It's going to be runway heading 224, climbing to 5,000 in the window. And it's checked and it's showing runway 22 right. So check runway 22 right. And the other guy says check runway 22 right. I say, okay, Steve, do my takeoff, review some of the abort procedures. Once again, we're super heavyweight, so if we do have to abort, we're going to definitely we'll probably anticipate having hot brakes. We will not park the brakes. Don't let me forget to tell the people to remain seated. We'll get the trucks rolling and take a look at our brakes. Because if we abort anywhere at or near V1, we're going to have really hot brakes on this airplane. But after V1, we'll continue to take off. We're going to go runway heading. Expecting radar vectors probably out to the left to head east. Initially climbing to 5,000. Mid-sector altitude is 3,000. There's no engine out procedure on this runway. Any questions, anything to add? He says, no questions. He said, yeah, if you've been drinking, because that taxiing out was something else. I said, come on, man. No, I have not been drinking. Kind of hurts to get past that. It's pretty horrendous taxiing there. Dude, it's like it's a simulator. And still, all the other simulator captains stay on the line. Come on, Steve. About time should retire. Okay, you guys, it's sterile cockpit, okay? You guys know what sterile cockpit is? Anytime the airplane's moving, the parking brake's off below 10,000 feet, keep it to business-related, procedural-related items only. None of the stuff like we were just doing. Nothing extraneous at all. If the FAA was in the jump seat, keep it real quiet. You could definitely get violated. All right, turning at 10 knots or greater is not going to work out. I do believe that this simulator sort of punishes you if you try to turn above 10. I'm going to try to do this. Yeah, back in the lower left-hand corner, way over here, when that is being the line, you start your turn for a 90-degree turn. I'm leading a little early because of the sim world here. Does that go? Hold the short. Overshoot so that we can roll out. Yeah, remember those wheels 20 feet behind us. The 200, you don't have to be as dramatic with the turns. 200, you can tip us up 200. You don't have to leave it as much. Alright, flight attendants, make a PA. Flight attendants prepare for takeoff. FD private pilot monitoring. We say, plot the time, 1, 2, 3. Traffic 6 mile final. Winds 22010. Gus 15. You are clear for takeoff runway 22 right. Father Time 123 heavy. Cleared for takeoff 22 right. Put all the lights on. We also have to cycle the seatbelt sign. Yeah. Good enough. Come back in here. Time. Woo! Finals clear. Clear for takeoff. Lights are on. Flight attendants are notified they chime. For takeoff checklist is complete. Alright. LNAV, VNAV is going to be runway heading 5,000. I'm saying LNAV even though it's heading because the LNAV will fly the heading. You could take off and heading select if you wanted. That's what the SID is. It is a runway heading. And maybe I can show you here. This right there, when the center line is there on a 90-degree turn on the 300, you start your turn with full tiller. We don't have to be as dramatic here because we have plenty of runway. We can start a little earlier and get rolling. Some aircraft I see down there, I hope they're going to be holding short. Don't think they are though, are they? So why don't we just hold here, take a look out, get facing straight. That's funny. Father Time 123 heavy, cancel takeoff clearance. Alright, cancel takeoff clearance, Father Time 123 heavy. That's better view, isn't it? Kinda had us all cockeyed in the view, sorry about that. Alright, Father Time, sorry about that, sir. Runway's clear. Winds 220 at 10, you clear for takeoff. Clear for takeoff, Father Time 123. No problem. No problem. Love you guys. Should have said I love you back. I feel like I'm at home.
Crispy live.
That hurts. 80 knots acceleration check. Make sure the 302s are clear. At checks. Cross cockpit. D1's a go, no go. We are super heavy. A little weight on the nose gear. Center line, center line, center line.
V1.
Rotate.
2 degrees per
V2.
second up to the bars. You don't have to jerk the nose gear off there.
Positive rate of climb.
Yeah, gear up, please. Put the autopilot on. We're doing it. Why? Because I can talk. I'm do some SIG stuff. We head out of the cockpit mostly here, guys, right? And Father Time 123 heavy. Contact near departure. Frequency is 127, 135.9. 135.9. Father Time 123 heavy. All right, while we're doing that. Flaps 5. The other flaps 5. Direct departure, Father Time 123 heavy. We'll need a high-speed climb at 280 knots for operational reasons. We're out of 2,300 for 5,000. Father Time 123 heavy, roger. Speed at your discretion, 280 is approved. Climb maintain 1,000. And turn right, heading 090. Prime maintain 1,000 and left turn, heading 290. Father Time 123, heading plus 1, please. Alright, so we're in heading select now. Reach up here, we push on it, right? Push on that bad boy, and we come left heading 090. It's pretty typical heading. Alright, coming up on flaps 1, flaps up please, after flaps up, after takeoff climb checklist. Whenever you bring the flaps up, you call for after takeoff climb, and get this heading all the way over to 090. That is pretty typical out of Kennedy, 090, 1,000. Now, see the flaps up, 260s are min, speed intervene, 280. We could have box. I'll show you how to do that. Go to VNav. Down here. I'm going to put it in for takeoff. Some guys don't like to do that until they get the approval. But we're going to do it anyway because it's an operational reason. It's really not a request, it's an advisement. There you go. Now, if you do that, you don't need to speed into meeting. You can go back to VNav, and that's in the box. So, right after takeoff plan checks complete, there it is. Turn on the spoilers, and I get that finger. And Father Time 123 Heavy, contact New York Center, frequency 128.3. 128.3, Father Time 123 Heavy, CDOT. New York Center, Father Time 123 Heavy, supports 5,700 climbing to 1,000. After Father Time 123 Heavy, radar contact. Proceed direct to Nantucket. Direct Nantucket, Father Time 123 Heavy. So I line selected, put it in 1L. Say, how does that look? Other guy says, good. Execute. Well, we're not doing anything until we go LNAV. Now we are LNAVing it, VNAVing it. Heading to Nantucket, which is 172 miles away. Beautiful Massachusetts Island. Father Time's from Rhode Island. A little radar action going on here, see if it's working. And you know what, guys? That's good enough. So that is pushback, starting engines, taxi, takeoff, initial climb, heading select, LNAV, and off we go. We'll come back on. We'll do RNAV arrival, so probably category 3 on our next adventure on Father Time. I don't want to make these things too long. All right, that's it. Father Time's out. Bye-bye.